Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment explains it. Yeah, I've been telling y'all for the longest time I was gonna start bringing y'all up to speed on Killadelphia, because I know y'all ain't fooling with Killadelphia. Killadelphia, Image Comics. The supernatural. That is the best way I can describe it, because as we dive in, you'll see the obvious supernatural tones, but then some of the supernatural tones that aren't so obvious are going to kick in after a while as well. Now, before we get on down into Philadelphia and Killadelphia, I need to do what I need to do so I can do what I want to do. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D Real page so that when new material comes out, you get it. If you're digging what a brother shop to put some dirt in my bucket, comment, like, subscribe, and share. Why? Because edutainment. That's what I do. And I'm going to edutain y'all on Killadelphia. Killadelphia is a book currently being written by Rodney Barnes and illustrated by Jason Shawn Alexander. Just to let you cats know in advance, Jason Shawn Alexander has a bit of a noir style. And it's appropriate because this first story I'm going to show y'all is a little bit of a mystery. It's supposed to be a mystery, but I mean, in that world, I'm going to stop. I'm going to just go ahead and get into Killadelphia. That right there, that is Jimmy Sangster Jr. Now, Jimmy Sangster Jr. is a police detective that works in homicide. His father, he works in missing persons. His father worked in homicide. Wait a minute, other way around. Senior worked in homicide. Junior works in missing persons. If I've got that wrong, we will unravel it as this story opens up. But bottom line, Sangster Jr. is talking about his dad to someone. He's going through his father's stuff. You know what I'm saying? So because his father just recently died. How? Well, we'll get to that in a bit. From what we can gather about the story, Jimmy Jr. didn't have a great relationship with his pop. And now, also too, let's get into Sangster Sr., because that's Sangster Sr. who we're looking at. Sangster Sr. is looking for a missing person, but he's not looking for that missing person for the reason we think he's looking for a missing person. Philadelphia, missing person happens all the time. His boss and him have a wonderful relationship, as you can see, because his boss is telling him, F you, Sangster. So, yeah. Now, Sangster gets a phone call. Say, I found your boy. You found the missing person that I was looking for? Now, Seesaw is, let's go back here. The young fellow on the poster, his name is Tevin. Okay, but on the streets, Tevin is known as Seesaw. And as Mr. Sangster goes to the location he was given on the phone, looking for Tevin Tompkins, but instead gets set up. And from that setup, It looks like he's been set up by someone or something a little supernatural. And there is Sangster Sr. laid out, yellow tape, dead, but aware of the fact that he's dead. This is starting to look familiar. Enter Sangster Jr. He just come from the funeral. He's at his dad's house. And as you can see, he's remembering less pleasant times. Isn't it funny how your house still smells the same after years and years and years, and you go back to it and it smells the exact same way it did when you were living there? Trippy. And he finds his daddy's journal. And his daddy's got a lot of stuff regarding the case in his journal. And the young Sangster reads it and finds out about Jose Padilla, who is currently the chief medical examiner. And she works at the morgue. But she used to be Sangster Sr.'s partner. Now they have bodies on the street everywhere. Everywhere bodies are on the street. And these bodies all have something in common. As you can see, yellow fever. Every corpse has a strain of yellow fever. Okay, for those that who are sharp and on the uptake, yellow fever is what kind of disease? Tropical. Well, that rules Transylvania out. Anyway, yellow fever has had a vaccine for it since 1953. So why is there an outbreak of yellow fever symptoms in Philadelphia? And they are implying that these people are being bitten. And he asks, you're implying a person is behind this? And Jose lets him know the bite pattern's human. That's kind of getting us closer to where we need to be, right? Okay, but I guarantee you the twist is coming. So someone's going around biting people. No, multiple people are biting multiple people. Yellow fever only exists in the Caribbean and third world countries today, although Philadelphia and the virus have a history of sorts. 1793. 1793. 5,000 people died and 17,000 fled the city. So, any kind of maladies associated with the street life, HIV, hepatitis C, lung cancer, now you got yellow fever to add to the list in Philly. Now, while at the morgue with Jose, there is banging on the door of the morgue. That's not strange, except it's coming from the side where the dead are at. Creepier and creepier, yes. But when we go inside, nothing. All the bodies are where they're supposed to be. But something tells me Miss Padilla knows something that she isn't talking about. Yep, you definitely heard that banging. So something's up because he came in with his get out. Okay. Now, as he continues to go through Pop's journal, he finds an entry in there about John Adams. John Adams? Yes, that John Adams, former president of the United States. He also finds that John Adams and his wife Abigail went down to the Caribbean and returned with an illness believed to be yellow fever. Yellow fever? Thousands of people dead in 1793. Supposedly, John Adams died in the 1800s, right? Ooh, okay. So, Sankster's having a moment. Get the F out of here. Yeah, he's having a light bulb moment. So, where does he go? To John Adams' burial site. Not many knew about it. Vandals broke in looking for valuables. My family has tended this place for generations. Indentured servants is where we started. Just decided to stay around, I guess. Quincy, Massachusetts is as good as any other place to live for a man to live his life. Good enough for them to live out their death too. Haha, I made a fun. Oh, whatever. Okay, you know anything else about this vandalism? Sanger asks. Ain't much else left to know, except the body's still in there. Guess that's what matters most, right? What you doing there, fella? Hoping to hear old Adam sing a tune? Star Spangled Banner, maybe? So now we know what Sangster's thinking. You're probably thinking the same thing. He's out on the streets. He's trying to think like a predator. How do predators think? How do predators that want to do what these guys want to do think? When out of nowhere, he sees one running. It just happens to be Tevin Tompkins. And he puts a few shots in him. We all know bullets don't do nothing, right? Right. And so he goes back to Chief Examiner Padilla. And he wants to know what the deal is. Shortly after midnight, the dead stir in the morgue. She's opened the door. You see all of these scratch marks on the door. So, what does that mean in terms of James Sangster Sr.? We open up this door in this place because they're supposed to be quote unquote nests. And they definitely are nests if there are people hanging upside down in them houses. And they wake up and look at you and say, I'm going to do you like I did your daddy. No, you ain't, because I'm going to run. And that's exactly what the younger Sangster did. Young Sangster needs some help, because him and Jose ain't going to be able to do this alone. So if you want to get rid of or deal with vampires, what do? You dig up your daddy, who just happens to be a vampire too. What took you so long, boy? End of issue 1. So now, what do we know? We know there are vampires running around biting people in Philadelphia. We know James Sangster Jr.'s father, James Sangster Sr., was killed by a vampire. And now he himself is a vampire. And John and Abigail Adams might have something to do with it. Man, this sounds like a story we need to get off into. Don't y'all run off on me. Don't y'all go nowhere, because I'm going to be humming coming at you with another issue of Killadelphia, maybe issue 2, maybe issue 3, maybe more. But y'all ain't going to know if you don't tune in to come play. Check it out now, y'all. That's it for now. But fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of the other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.